I am at the largest favela in Brazil, despite multiple warnings. But one thing I quickly realized when I got here is that a lot of the people who talk badly about favelas have never actually been inside of them. The first misconception is that favelas are just giant crime zones. My taxi driver was giving us such a hard time about dropping us off. We were like, sir, can you just go to where the GPS is showing you? Favelas are still neighborhoods where people live, raise kids, and build communities. But the stigma overshadows that. The reality is way more nuanced. The growth of favelas came out of a need for housing when Black people were left without options post-slavery and pushed to the peripheries. And not everyone in a favela is living in poverty. But a big reason people are often unable to leave is education inequality. Getting into a good university requires you to pass a national exam, so kids in underfunded public schools are competing against private school students with way more resources.
Seems like the national exam is like a meritocracy thing, but we know it just to filter.
And despite being underserved and overlooked, favelas also created a music culture that the entire country profits from. Now let me tell you, I don't know what he's saying, but I like that he's giving me something I can dance to. All right, now let's talk about the elephant in the room: safety.
A lot of people think that this favela is dangerous, gonna get killed, robbed here, but don't make sense because we are really close to the most expensive schools in Rio de Janeiro.
Now, even though I did walk past 5 drug dealers in Havaianas holding military weapons while they were on watch, what makes a favela dangerous isn't just drug lords and people in poverty. It's often about location and instability. Favelas with rival armed groups fighting over territory are volatile. Others, like Rocinha, are near rich areas and controlled by one group that makes up a small percentage of the population, with strict internal rules like no robbery inside the community. I was told the same police tactics used in poorer, more isolated areas aren't politically tolerated here. I imagine drug raids aren't great for property value. Now, I'm not telling you just run up in a favela without knowing anyone or anything. That's irresponsible. Personally, I do my research, listen to the people who live there, and respect where I am. Same thing you should do anywhere else. People made it seem like I wasn't gonna make it out of this favela alive. But I'm glad I went to learn about the reality for myself with a caipirinha and coffee in hand.